Wait, what'd you say? Michael Myers had a baby. Michael Myers had sex with his niece. And now he's an uncle and a dad? Dude, that's some weird shit. Oh, wait. No, that's the producer's cut? We're not talking about that one right now? Okay. Phew. I thought that was some weird shit right there. Michael Myers being a daddy. What's up, guys? Welcome back to FACCI'S Horror Movies and More. And today, I'm going to talk about 1995's Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. The theatrical cut, of course. Starring Donald Pleasance. No Danielle Harris in this one. I know you Halloween fans are crying. And introducing the great Paul Rudd. I know it's hard to believe they got him to do a Halloween movie, but somehow it happened. And we got George P. Wilbur as the Shape, aka Michael Myers, for the second time, since, as you all know, he was the Shape in Part 4 as well. This is probably one of the more darker ones in the series. Definitely way more brutal than we've ever seen Michael before. He has no restraints whatsoever in this movie. He's here and he's here to kick ass and kill anybody that gets in his way. The only thing weird about it, deals with the Cult of Thorn. They had nowhere else to go, so this is the route that they went, and a lot of people like it, and a lot of people hate it. I got mixed feelings about this one, to be honest with you. Starts off with Jamie Lloyd. Remember her from Part 4 and 5? The Cult of Thorn impregnated her somehow. They don't explain how they went about doing it, but they did. And they have her, and they need the baby to be like a sacrifice for Michael Myers. But one of the nurses there feels bad and sympathetic, so she lets her escape, and Jamie and the baby get out of there. But you will notice that Danielle Harris was replaced in this movie, and the actress that replaced her, she did a good job. There was no knock on her whatsoever. It's just that all the horror fans wanted Danielle Harris to be in this movie, and they couldn't get the terms worked out, or they just didn't want her, and they moved on. However, Danielle Harris still didn't move on, but that's another story. To open this movie with the kill that we get, with Michael slamming that nurse's head on that spike and stepping back and admiring his work, you know this Michael ain't here to play. That's for sure. 100% more vicious than ever before. And then he goes back-to-back kills. Then he goes outside and twists that redneck's head the whole way around. You're in for a brutal movie, and plus you got the amped up theme song, which is more of kind of metal tones to it compared to the old classic. That's just showing how revved up this movie's gonna be, and what kind of dark tone and atmosphere we're going for. It's pretty, the whole opening sequence is pretty intense compared to the other Halloween movies. It's more mysterious and creepy, but not as intense and full-blown killing right off the bat like that. Another thing this one does have going for it is the fall atmosphere. Definitely, compared to the other ones in the franchise, it has, I'd say, probably the most fall atmosphere you're gonna get. You could feel the chill of the air. It got the cold leaves blowing. You got the kids in the costumes, which in all these movies, why are the kids trick-or-treating in the daytime? And then once the kids get off school, they're still trick-or-treating. I don't know what these movies think, that on Halloween, kids just trick or treat all day, but that's just not how it works in real life. That'd be sweet if it did, but it doesn't. So, this movie follows the family that lives in the Myers house, who are related to the Strodes, but they don't know that they're in the Myers house except for the dad, because he's a dickhead, John Strode. So, Michael obviously goes home, and he's pissed that people are living in his house after he chased down Jamie Lloyd and the big car chase scene and go to the bus station. And that opening scene was a very long chase scene, pretty much. And then he finally gets to Jamie Lloyd, but she's luckily hid the baby at the bus station, so Michael wouldn't be able to get him. And then Michael's pissed off again with another crazy kill as he throws Jamie Lloyd on farm equipment. And you think he's going to be so sympathetic, and he pushes her down farther onto it, and spikes come farther through her chest. And to make things work, he's still pissed off. He turns that machine on, and it spins her guts and insides all over the place as she's screaming. Whew! Damn, this movie is intense. And honestly, in the kill department, this movie never lets up. It just keeps going with the brutal kills the whole way through this movie. And luckily, in this movie also, we get the normal Donald Pleasance. Not the crazy, the badass crazy one. We get the normal, calm Donald Pleasance. He's retired, he's living out in the countryside. He put all this in the past. Or so he thought, until he has to come back out of retirement to try to help the people that Michael was trying to kill and attack. And Donald Pleasance's job is just never done. But this is his last movie, unfortunately, because he did pass away. So this was the last time we get to see the great Donald Pleasance as Dr. Loomis on film, and it was hard to take in because he was a huge part of the franchise, and knowing that he will never be a part of it again, except in flashbacks and, voice work and whatnot, it was pretty tough. But this franchise never stopped, even without Donald Pleasance. He said he was going to do, I forget what he said, 22 movies or 23 movies or something like that, because he was passionate about this franchise, and just like all the fans are. And as much as people want it to end, I don't ever want there not to be Halloween or Michael Myers movies, because that's a huge part of my growing up and what I'm passionate about. So I don't want that to go away. But sorry about the rant, back to the review. Definitely, and then we get to introduce Paul Rudd, who is playing Tommy Doyle from the 1978 classic. And Michael messed him up pretty good because he's a creeper that lives across the street, and he pretty much spent the rest of his life since kind of keeping track of Michael Myers and where he's killing and what he's doing. A lot of people don't like Paul Rudd in this movie, say he's a terrible actor in this movie, but I don't mind him at all. I mean, he's a kid that got messed up by the stuff he went through, so I understand why he's kind of weird and acts like that, so I don't have a problem with that.
I'm sorry, I don't know you, do I?
I'm Tommy. Tommy Doyle. Laurie Strode, Jamie's mother, was babysitting me the night when...
Tommy Doyle.
I don't really have a problem with any of the characters in this movie, really, except for the Man in Black, who we finally get to see who it is, and it is, wait for it, Terrence Wynn. Wait, you don't remember who that is? Oh, come on, that was that guy in part 1 in 1978 that said he couldn't even drive a car. It's 150 miles away. Yeah, that guy. That guy orchestrated this whole plan in the Cult of Thorn. So, that's a little far-fetched and unbelievable. But the director of this one had to freaking fix the mistakes of the last one, because that one was a shit show. So, he didn't really have much to work on. So, we're not going to fault him for that. The little boy in the movie, Danny, who lives at the Strode house, he's the daughter Kara's son. He has like these visions, and he's like seeing the Man in Black, and writing all these pictures of his family members being killed. So we don't know what's going on with him, but he has like, he can sense these things for some reason, but they never really elaborate as to why. And why the Man in Black is even trying to reach him. It doesn't, unless they're trying to turn him into the new Michael Myers, since he's living in the Myers house and he's a little boy. But they never really elaborate on that at all. So I guess they just said, screw it, we don't give a shit about that. Obviously Michael gets to his house. Like I said, he was pissed off, so he gets rid of the mother, Deborah. Pretty sweet kill, actually. I love the chase through the sheets. You don't know where Michael's going to be. And she pulls down the last sheet, and he's just there with the axe and swings it right at her. They don't show the kill, but I do like that scene a lot. Because it actually is, it is super creepy. And the atmosphere, and between the sheets, like kind of a homage to the first one where Michael's hiding behind the sheets. I do like that a lot. Kara comes home from school, and for some reason Tommy's hanging out with her son in the bedroom, which is kind of weird, but that's fine. Tommy explains all about the Michael Myers. They go over to his apartment because he doesn't want anywhere. He doesn't want them anywhere near the house because he knows Michael's coming back, which he does, obviously. So he keeps him safe over there to watch up the house, and then her dad comes home, John Strode. The power gets cut. Another brutal kill. Michael is standing in the basement, and he picks him up and slams him into the electrical box. And as he is getting electrocuted and the foam's coming out of his mouth and shit, just builds up to huge head explosion. Probably one of the most cool kills I've ever seen in a Halloween movie. And plus it was so creepy because he was just standing there in the dark basement in the back and all you see is his mask. I thought that scene was pretty epic as the lights flashing through the windows in the basement. That was so cool. But that guy deserved to die because he was an asshole. Super asshole. Another asshole in this movie, Barry Sims. The radio guy. Total asshole. Doesn't give a shit about Haddonfield. The only reason he's there is to get ratings. And pretty much, is, like I said, he's a dick. He's an asshole. And luckily, Michael Myers is waiting in the news van for him. And stabs the shit out of him. And then, he uses him as a fucking Halloween decoration. As he wraps him in lights and sticks him in a tree. As that little girl's dancing underneath him.
It's raining. It's raining red. It's warm.
And he falls out of the tree with the lights on, with the cuts on his body. He deserved it too, because he's an asshole. This movie's filled with assholes. Michael, he ain't done killing. Because Tommy's still trying to find him with Dr. Loomis. They're trying to stop this right now. But Michael goes back home again. And he kills Kara's brother and his girlfriend. Damn. Whenever he's swinging that knife, in the sound effects and the music, that's the hardest anybody's ever stabbed anybody in a Halloween movie. This was before Halloween 2, but that's the vibes that I got from it. When Michael was at the hospital in the intro to Halloween 2, that's what that stabbing scene reminded me as. Michael didn't take shit in this movie. He, like I said, the most brutal Michael Myers that we've ever seen. Take it or leave it, some like it, some don't. I got mixed feelings about it. I mean, he's gonna kill him, so that's brutal enough, but to put the force that he's putting in behind it, they're playing that freaking metal theme, Halloween theme. This is an intense, dark movie. It really is. The darkest of the franchise. And then the chase scene, when Kara sees Danny going back over to the Myers house, and she knows that Michael's over there, and then when they get there and he's just creepily walking down the hallway, he looks a little thick, looks a little chubby there at that point, but he's still so menacing. And the whole chase with, like I said, playing that metal thing, Playing that metal theme as he's chasing him. It's badass. However, it turns to the third act is kind of weird, because then they go back to Smith's Grove and they're doing some more occult shit and whatnot. They kidnap the baby, and they kidnap Kara, and then Tommy and Dr. Loomis have to go look for him, and he's going to kill Wynn and whatnot. I just don't know what they're planning on doing to the baby. Like, their doctors are getting ready for surgery. What are they gonna do? It's like after midnight on Halloween, and they're gonna do surgery on an infant baby. Like, they never elaborated at all as to what they're going to do. They got fetuses in jars and shit. It makes no sense. And as Tommy and Kara are hiding in the hospital after he broke her out, and he saw Michael for the first time since 1978, and he makes that weird like laughing face at him for some reason. I guess he was in shock that he actually got to see Michael Myers again. The lab massacre, obviously the most iconic scene in this whole movie, when Michael has the whole plethora of weapons to choose, and he picks the biggest knife that they got and just walks in that room, starts stabbing the shit out of everybody. They got the strobe light effect blinking, blood squirting everywhere, double-handed stabs. Michael is pissed. Took them all out. And then they keep that horror metal theme going the whole way. He freaking shoves that guy's head through the bars when they're chasing after him. It's a grimy, dirty atmosphere at that Smith's Grove. They got water dripping and pipes and steam coming out. And Michael, and they got like the red lights, and Michael's walking down. His mask don't change expressions, but you can tell he's angry and pissed. Just looks that way. He looks vicious. And the ending of the movie, it's okay, I guess. It could have been better. There's two versions of the ending, one for the producer's cut and one for the theatrical cut. I guess the majority of people like the theatrical cut one better. I'll discuss the producer's cut a little later on in the review. But for this movie, Michael is given some kind of tranquilizer by Tommy Doyle, and then he beats the shit out of him with a pipe for like 10 minutes. And his mask is like getting all messed up, and the freaking gooze is coming out all over the place, which when I first watched it I was like, what the hell, is Michael like an alien or some shit? But I guess that's just this the tranquilizer solution that they gave him is coming back out, I guess. But he beats the shit out of him with the pipe, and then he grabs Kara, Danny, and the baby, and they get out of there, and they try to get Dr. Loomis to go. But Dr. Loomis is, I have some business to attend to here. He stays because, obviously, like I said, this was his last movie, so it was only fitting that he would die at the hands of the maniac he's been trying to stop all these years. Michael Myers finally gets him. You just see Michael's mask laying there on the ground, and Dr. Loomis screaming. And that's... the movie. That is it. Not the ending that I was hoping for. I wanted a lot more. I did. I don't like this movie as much as a lot of people do. I know Lee from Drum Dums super loves this movie. He thinks this movie's badass. I do not think this movie's badass. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. Ranks at the bottom of my rankings when I get there, which will be very, very soon, because I'm almost getting to the end of my Halloween series review, and I'm almost to the end of my Friday the 13th series review. Kind of excited about this. But if I had to give this one a grade, I'd probably give it a a 2.25 out of 5. I'd probably say take it or leave it. If pop it in maybe around Halloween or something, keep it on in the background. But I'm not gonna put full dedication to watching it because I really wasn't feeling this movie that much. Besides Michael Myers being a brutal badass in this movie, and Donald Pleasance giving a final farewell performance, my good sir, R.I.P. I just don't see myself really watching it to sit there and enjoy it. Just put it on as some background noise, maybe take a glance once in a while, see the lab scene, but that's about it. So that's my thoughts on Halloween 6, the theatrical cut, and hopefully you guys like the video. Hopefully you will subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it, and I will keep continuing to put out these beautiful Halloween reviews until I have reached the top. So, I got one more thing to say to you guys. Hold on. Oh, have a scary day.